Alrighty, folks, we're now hitting at 76%, our last 37 Major League Baseball tier membership package picks on my premium page. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to my Major League Baseball free pick video here today for Friday, July 12th, 2024. Happy Friday to you. Hopefully you had a great week. And of course, the weekend is finally here. You made it. Congratulations. Of course, my name is Brock Page. I've been dishing out free sports picks on YouTube since 2016. Once again, folks, we are hitting at 76% in our last 37 Major League Baseball tier membership picks on my premium page. And if you sign up for that package here today, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. As an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships absolutely free. They're going to be included with your purchase. Of course, if you want to unlock all of my premium selections here today, every single one of them that I give out on a daily basis, you may want to think about joining my full access, all-inclusive chairman package. Chairman members get access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And with that, folks, we are going to jump into some free content. We're going to start off with the Dodgers at the Tigers. That'll be a 6:40 Eastern first pitch. Detroit's minus $1.35, totals 8 runs. Tarek Skubal for the Tigers, James Paxton for the Dodgers. Now, Paxton's done a nice job getting the W this year. He's actually recorded only 2 losses through 80-plus innings. The lefty currently has a 7-2 record, and I'll tell you what, the Dodgers typically pitch well against Detroit. They've held the Tigers to under 3.4 runs a game in their last 10 gatherings. Of course, at the plate, the Dodgers can certainly score runs. I know they've struggled recently, but, this is a lineup that still has the ability, to get on the board. They're a top 3 run producing team despite their struggles. Now, Shohei Ohtani, he's got the highest OPS average in the National League, most homers in the National League as well. Of course, Freddie Freeman's got a .398 on-base percentage himself. And as good as Skubal's been, well, Detroit's lost 3 out of his last 5 starts. They actually got shut out twice during that span. Now, they also have a losing record at Comerica Park. They continue to struggle against National League opponents. They currently have a .411 win percentage in their interleague home games, but really the biggest issue with these guys, the bats. It's been that way for the past handful of seasons. Now, injury-wise, Mark Canha is questionable for the Tigers. Carpenter and Meadows still on that injury report for the Tigers as well. Meanwhile, for the Dodgers on the other side, Hayward and Betts on the injury report as well. Give me the Dodgers plus $1.15. Next game, A's Phils, 6:40 p.m. East. Philadelphia is the $3 favorite. Totals 8.5. Ranger Suarez for the Titans. Hogan Harris for Oakland. And as good as Harris has been, well, the A's give him little chance to record wins. Harris is just 1-3 on the season, and his whip has crept up to a 1.34. And a lot of that has to do with poor plate appearances. The A's are currently dead last in the league in hits per game on the road. And they're facing Ranger Suarez, who's 10-3 on the year with an ERA of 2.58. Now, the lefty's also got 106 strikeouts and a 1.02 whip. Now, the Rangers, not the Rangers, Ranger Suarez, he is also backed by the best run-producing lineup at home in the game. These guys love hitting the baseball at the bank. Alec Boehm's got the 4th most RBI in the majors. Trey Turner's hitting .348. When it comes to the injury list, Real Muto's still on the IR. That's the injury report. Toro, Ruiz, and Soderstrom on the injury report for Oakland. Now, 3 out of the A's last 4 road games stayed under the total. They're also 60% to the under in their last 10 at any location. Give me the Phillies minus 1.5, under 8.5 runs. Next game, Guardians-Rays, 6:50 p.m. East. Tampa Bay's -150, totals 8 runs. Taj Bradley for the Rays, Carlos Carrasco for Cleveland. And even though Carrasco's had his fair share of rough outings, it's been Tampa Bay who's struggled to get Taj Bradley the W. Bradley's just 3-4 on the year despite some really good outings. Of course, at the plate, the Rays are one of the worst run-producing teams in the league. These guys are in the bottom 3 in runs per game at home. And because of that, they do have a losing record at the Trop. Now, they're facing a Guardians team who did get the W in 3 out of their last 4 Carrasco starts. 21 total runs they scored during that short span. When it comes to run production, the Guardians are in the top 5 in the National League in runs per game. Steven Kwan bats a league best .361. Jose Ramirez has the second most RBI in the majors. Give me the Guardians +1.5. Next game, little AL East action. Yankees-Orioles, 7:05 East. The Yankees are the $1.20 favorite, totals 9. Garrett Cole for the Yankees, Cade Povich for Baltimore. And when it comes to the total, Baltimore's seen plenty of unders in their divisional games. They're currently 9-3 to the under against the American League at Camden Yards this year. That's actually good for 75% in that particular category. And 6 out of their last 10 meetings with the Yankees also stayed under the total. So if you're into historical trends, plenty of unders go around. Now the Yankees on the other side, they are currently 21-16 to the under against American League opponents on the road. Give me the under 9. Next matchup, Rockies-Mets, 7:10 Eastern start time. The New York Mets are -240, totals 8.5. Sean Manaea for New York, Tanner Gordon for Colorado. And out of just a handful of innings this year, the righty Gordon's got an ERA in the 7s. And that's been a consistent theme with the Rockies this year. They're pitching. These guys allow more runs a game than any other staff in the majors. And they're facing a Mets club who has little problems hitting the baseball. These guys are in the top 10 in runs per game. Brandon Nimmo's got the 9th most RBI in the bigs. Lindor's got the most hits in the lineup. And even if they stink at the plate, they're definitely in good hands with Sean Manaea. The lefty's 5-3 with an ERA of 3.43. Now, injury-wise, Jose Iglesias is questionable for the Mets. Charlie Blackmon, day-to-day for Colorado. 3 out of the Rockies' last 4 road games did get over the total. Give me the Mets -1.5 over 8.5 runs. Next game, Royals-Red Sox, 7:10 Eastern start time. Kansas City's -115, totals 9 runs. Cole Reagan's on the mound for the Royals. Cooper Criswell for the Red Sox. And I got to be honest, man, there's a couple of factors with both teams that I'm concerned about. For one, it's the starting pitching for both squads. Now, for Boston, Cooper Criswell's got an ERA in the 4s. He does not have a winning record. And somehow for Kansas City on the other side, the Royals just don't want to win for Cole Reagans. He's got a losing 5-6 record despite a boatload of strikeouts this year. And when it comes to the total, more conflicting factors that make this one really tough to pick. The Royals are currently 65% to the under against American League opponents on the road. But the Bo Sox on the other side, they saw 6 out of their last 10 get over the posted total. So as far as making a free pick in this ballgame here, I got nothing for you. All right, next matchup, Marlins-Reds, 7:10 Eastern start time. Cincinnati's $1.65, totals 9.5. Carson Spears for the Reds, Yanni Chirinos for Miami. Now, Chirinos has recorded 20 strikeouts in just 19-plus innings. And tell you what, out of his 4 starts this year, the Marlins cashed in on the run line in all of those games. And actually took the outright loss just one time during that short span. And they're facing a Cincy team who's definitely having problems covering at home. They're just 44% against the number in their contest at the Great American Ballpark. And out of their last 10 gatherings with the Fish, they've had a tough time with Marlins pitching. They were held to just 3.6 runs a game during that time frame. And as far as this season's concerned, They're one of the worst hitting lineups in the game. They're averaging under 7.1 hits per contest in their own stadium. Now, injury-wise, Maley, Martini, Fairchild, and Friedel are on the injury report. Lopez for the Marlins. 7 out of Miami's last 10 gatherings with Cincinnati stayed under the total. They also saw 3 out of their last 4 Torino starts stay under the line. Now, the Marlins on the other side, they are currently 60% to the under in front of their own fans. Give me the Marlins plus 1.5, under 9.5 runs. Next game, Pirates, White Sox, 8:10 Eastern start time. Chicago's minus $1.65, total 7.5. Garrett Crochet for the Sox, Marco Gonzalez for the Pirates. And out of 17 innings of work this year, the lefties got an ERA in the 2s, along with a 1.18 whip. When it comes to cashing in on the run line, the Bucks are cashing in nearly 60% of their road games, and they're facing a White Sox club who's somehow managed to record 6 losses for lefty Garrett Crochet, and it's an absolute crime because this guy's been fantastic this season, but this bullpen and these Chicago bats, they continue to lose games for him. Chicago averages fewer runs a game than any other roster in the league. And once again, somehow lefty Garrett Crochet does not have a winning record on the season. I don't know how that is possible with how good he's been. Now, total-wise, the White Sox have gone 67% to the under in their interleague contests at Guaranteed Rate Field. Give me the Pirates plus 1.5, under 8. All right, next ball game. Little more divisional action here. AL West, Rangers, Astros, 8:10 East. Houston's $1.45, totals 8. Hunter Brown for the Stros, Andrew Heaney for the Rangers. And I'll tell you what, Heaney's had a handful of really good appearances this year. I'm not going to take that away from him. But the Rangers clearly don't want to win for the guy. The lefty Heaney is currently 3-9 on the year despite 92 strikeouts. And out of Texas's last 10 gatherings with Houston, the Astros really hit well against him. Houston averaged over 5.2 runs a game during that time frame. As far as this year's concerned, well, the Astros currently lead the major leagues in hits per game. Jose Altuve has got the most hits on the roster. When it comes to the injury list, Yordan Alvarez is questionable for Houston. Evan Carter on the injury report for Texas. Give me the Astros minus 145. All right, next game, Nats, Brewers, 8:10 Eastern start time. Milwaukee's minus 240, totals 8 runs. Freddie Peralta for Milwaukee, Jackson Rutledge for Washington. Now, the Nats have lost their last 5 straight, and they were shut out twice during that stretch. It should come as no surprise. These guys have consistently struggled at the plate, especially on the road. They're in the bottom 10 in hits per game while traveling. They're facing Freddie Peralta, who continues to rack up the strikeouts. The righty's got 124 punch-outs and a 1.15 whip. And of course, at the plate, the Brewers continue to pound the baseball at American Family Field. They're in the top 3 in the majors in runs per game at home. Christian Yelich has the highest qualifying batting average in the National League, OPS in the 900s. Willie Adames leads the lineup in RBI. Now, injury-wise, Sanchez, Ortiz, and Dunn are on the injury report for the Brewers. Joey Gallo for Washington. 6 out of the Nationals' last 10 ball games did get over the total. Meanwhile, Milwaukee went 8-3 to the over in their last 11 Freddie Peralta starts. Give me the Brewers minus 1.5, over 8. Once again, folks, if I say that, somebody's on the injury report, doesn't necessarily mean they're out. They could be questionable day-to-day, probable to suit up. Just keep that in mind. Next matchup, Cubs, Cardinals, NL Central action, 8:15 East. St. Louis is the $2 favorite at home, totals 8 runs. Sonny Gray for the Redbirds, Kyle Hendricks for Chicago. And the righty Hendricks just hasn't been good enough this season. He's 1-7 with an ERA of 7.53. And even if he has a good showing here today, he might not get much run support. The Cubs are in the bottom 5 in the league in hits per game. And they're going to face Sonny Gray, who's 9-5 for the Cardinals with an ERA in the low threes. Now, the righty's also got 115 strikeouts and a 1.04 whip. And out of Gray's, recent starts, he's been getting plenty of run support. The Cards scored 27 total runs in his last 5 starts. Now, injury-wise, Ivan Herrera's on the IR for the Cardinals, Bellinger and Tauchman for the Cubs. Now, total-wise, the Cubs have gone 60% to the under in their road trips. They also saw 8 out of their last 10 gatherings with the Cardinals stay under the line. So once again, if you're into historical trends, you certainly want to think about that one there. Give me the Cardinals minus 1.5, under 8.5 runs. Next ball game, Mariners-Angels, 9:38 East. Seattle's $1.50, totals 8. Brian Wu for the M's, Tyler Anderson for the Angels. And both pitchers coming into today's game with some strong numbers. The righty Anderson, he's recorded 8 wins on the year with an ERA of 2.81. Now, the lefty's also got a solid 1.18 whip. Meanwhile, Seattle on the other side, Brian Wu, he has a 1.77 ERA along with a sub-1 whip himself. When it comes to the total, there's actually a couple more conflicting factors that make this one tough to pick. Now, for the Mariners, 6 out of their last 10 ball games got over the total, but the Angels on the other side, they went 60% to the under in their last 10 themselves. So if you want to see whether I'm making a play on the money line, run line, or total in this one, this game is being featured as my Major League Baseball tier package pick on my premium page. Next contest, Braves-Padres, 9:40 Eastern start time. Atlanta's $1.20 away from home, totals 8.5. Spencer Schwellenbach for the Braves, Randy Vasquez for San Diego. And through 58 innings of work this year, the righty Vasquez has recorded only 2 wins. He's got an ERA of 4.66 along with a 1.60 whip. Of course, as a team, the Pods lost their last 4 straight. They scored only 9 total runs during that span. They're facing Spencer Schwellenbach, who averages over a strikeout an inning. And I tell you what, out of the Braves' last 10 meetings with the Pods, they held San Diego to just 3.9 runs a game. Now, injury-wise, Laureano and Harris are still on the injury report for Atlanta. Bogarts and Tatis for San Diego. When it comes to the total, 6 out of the Padres' last 10 meetings with Atlanta fell under the total. And out of 7 Spencer Schwellenbach starts for Atlanta, the under cashed in all of those contests except for one. Give me the Braves minus $1.20, under 8.5. Next game, Blue Jays, Diamondbacks, 9:40 Eastern first pitch. Arizona's minus $1.20, totals 9 runs. Ryan Nelson for the D-backs, Yariel Rodriguez for Toronto. Now, Rodriguez is just 1-3 on the year despite a handful of strong innings. Of course, at the plate, the Blue Jays are definitely having a tough time hitting the baseball on the road. They're averaging under 7.7 hits a game in their travels. And they're facing an Arizona club who won 6 out of their last 9 themselves. They're actually in the top 5 in the National League in runs per game. Christian Walker leads the organization in homers and RBI. He's actually in the top 10 in the majors in both of those categories. Gattel Marte's got a team best 100 hits on the year. Now, 3 out of Arizona's last 4 home games got over the line. They're also 9-1 at the over in their last 10. Meanwhile, Toronto went 60% to the over in their last 10 themselves. Give me the D-backs minus $1.20, over 9. And with that, folks, we're going to jump into our next and final breakdown for the video. It's going to be in that Twins-Giants game. That'll be a 10:15 Eastern first pitch. Minnesota's the $1.30 favorite, total 7.5. Joe Ryan for the Twins, Kyle Harrison for San Francisco. Now, Harrison's just 4-4 in the year with an ERA of 4.24. And I tell you what, this San Francisco pitching staff is definitely having a heck of a time getting outs. They're in the bottom 3 in hits allowed per game. They're facing one of the best run-producing teams in the game in Minnesota. The Twins are currently in the top 5 in runs per contest. Carlos Correa bats .310 with the most RBI in the clubhouse. Willie Castro leads the roster in hits. But even if the Twins have issues in the box, they've got a good one on the mound in Joe Ryan. The righty's got 118 strikeouts and a sub-1 whip. Give me Minnesota minus $1.30. With that, folks, we're going to dive into our quick pick recap. Give me the Dodgers plus $1.15. Phillies minus 1.5, under 8.5 runs. I'm hitting at 76%. My last 37 MLB tier package picks. Cleveland plus 1.5. Getting the job done for some run line cash. I like the under 9 in the Yankees-Orioles game. Mets minus 1.5, over 8 and a hook. I have no free pick available for you in the Royals-Red Sox game. Marlins plus 1.5, under 9.5 runs. Pirates plus 1.5, under 8. Astros minus 145 money line. Milwaukee minus 1.5, over 8 runs. Cardinals minus 1.5, under 8 and a hook. I have no free pick available for you in the Mariners-Angels game. Give me the Braves minus 120, under 8.5. D-backs minus $1.20, over 9. Give me the Twins minus 130, getting the job done for some money line cash. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium page. Now, if you do end up getting a membership here today on patreon.com/BrockPage, just a friendly reminder, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. As an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships absolutely free. They're going to be included with your purchase. That's why I always tell folks here on the video that Chairman Package, it's a full access, all-inclusive membership. Gives you access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. But most importantly, folks, got to thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. With that said, folks, happy Friday to you. Best of luck to you. I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium page at patreon.com/BrockPage.